Unfortunately, we need to talk about this because it involves the sport, and my channel is about NASCAR. And I've seen people like, if you guys don't know who Jeff Gluck is, Jeff Gluck is one of the best independent writers for NASCAR, probably the best. He's the best writer I've seen for NASCAR, covering NASCAR, and he runs his whole basically livelihood on people paying for subscriptions or like a Patreon for to read his stuff. And he wrote a very interesting article, knowing that he might piss people off and might lose money because of it. But he had to talk about the issues, and that's what I'm doing as well, as there's a bug flying. And yeah, so we're just going to talk about the issues. This is to discuss, this is to respect everyone's opinion, and this is to unite everyone. That's what this is for. That's why we're all doing it, for the love of the sport. And I'll explain everything to you if you don't know what's going on. So let's go. So if you're new to my channel or don't know who I am, I cover NASCAR a lot. For those of you that do know who I am, hi, I guess. Hope everyone's having a great day. But basically, the sport I've loved since I was a kid is being attacked right now. And it's understandable for certain reasons, but it's also misunderstood. A lot of people are misunderstood about what's going on right now. Misconceptions, stereotypes, and I just wanted to clear everything up. So this whole issue started on Friday. If you guys don't know the story, the Golden State Warriors won the NBA championship. You're usually supposed to be, you're supposed to go to the White House, and Stephen Curry was apparently hesitant to go, or he hasn't made a decision. So Donald Trump tweeted out about Stephen Curry not being hesitant and basically rescinded the invite. That caused a little bit of an outcry throughout athletes. And LeBron James made a tweet that's like one of the most popular tweets ever now, calling out basically Donald Trump, calling him a bum pretty much, and really disrespecting the president, and showing his anger. And then Donald Trump came back the next day on Twitter. There's a whole Twitter fight, basically, saying people who don't stand for the anthem and the Colin Kaepernick situation should be fired, and that you should always stand up for the anthem and respect the national anthem. So that's really the whole gist of the story. There's so much more that goes into it, but it's mostly about racial inequality, and African Americans and people of different races and religions not getting the same opportunities as white people, and that's their opinion, and that's their stance on it. And most of the NFL players and NFL athletes and NBA players are taking a stance upon it, and a lot of people on social media and everyone basically around the country taking a stance against it, and taking a stance against the president. So that's basically the situation. So how did NASCAR get involved in this? And as you guys know, we have a race every Sunday, or even Saturday nights. Before the race, everyone always stands up for the national anthem. We have a prayer as well before the race, and it's a tradition in NASCAR. We always respect the flag and respect what the military and our veterans have done for us to give us the freedoms and stuff. We race on Memorial Day weekend for them, Veterans Day as well, and it's a huge part of the sport, patriotism and all that stuff. And it's one of the backbones of NASCAR, basically. So NASCAR, more than other sports, I would say, shows its patriotism, shows its respect to fallen soldiers, and being able to race every day. We always say a prayer, blessing God that we're allowed to race on that day. So again, very patriotic, religious, and all that good stuff. And that's been lost a little bit over the last 2 days. So on Sunday, for those of you guys that don't know, I'm just trying to explain the situation right now. Richard Childress and Richard Petty, those are two NASCAR owners. Richard Petty, basically the king of NASCAR. Those two are owners now. And those two owners were asked about the situation by the media. Now, NASCAR did not come out and make a statement, neither did media reporters. No one within the sport, drivers, media members, pit crew members, crew chiefs, television broadcast, NASCAR chairmen, or people working with NASCAR did not make any comments about the situation going on where sports and politics were becoming an issue together. And it was boiling, and no one decided to make a comment. Everyone decided to stay away from it because it is such a controversial issue. So these quotes by Richard Petty and Richard Childress saying, Richard Childress was saying, if you don't stand for the national anthem, they'll put you on the Greyhound bus and you'll be off. Richard Petty again saying, support the military, support our fallen soldiers. You have to stand for the national anthem. It's very disrespectful if you don't. And he didn't outright say, "I will fire you if you don't stand." He was asked the question, "Would you fire anyone if they don't stand or they protest for the national anthem?" And he said yes. He did not just bring it up out of nowhere. He answered a question. So there's also a little bit of misconception on that. But now we get to the big issue. So a lot of now NASCAR has been put into the news today. If you guys don't know, Donald Trump has used NASCAR in his tweet today, saying he's very proud of the NASCAR fans and the supporters for standing up for the country and respecting the national anthem. And now, because he is the one that tweeted that, NASCAR has been thrown into the fire, along with the NFL, along with NBA, along with MLB, and basically the entire sports world. The sports world and the politic world have come together now. And that's what I'm trying to explain here. So let's talk. There is a stereotype around NASCAR. I am a huge NASCAR fan. I've been a NASCAR fan my entire life. But when I was in school, people would look at me and be like, "You're a NASCAR fan? No, that's kind of weird." I was in South Florida. South Florida is not really that popular for NASCAR, so it was a little bit weird. My parents were also from Iran. I'm not a white Republican born in the South. That's the stereotype that goes around. I'm a Muslim, and I'm half American, half Iranian, and I was just a NASCAR fan. That's what I first loved. So it was a little bit weird to see that, and people always questioned it. Because everyone thought, hey, NASCAR is white, male-dominated, Southern Republican sport. That stereotype has never died out. It's lessened a little bit the last few years, but it's never died out. And today was the day where the national media definitely came out and attacked NASCAR. Now, it's not about having a stance on what is right or what is wrong. There's so much misunderstanding going on right now. The national media think everyone in NASCAR are racist, white male dominated, Republicans in and out everywhere, very conservative, leaning on the right side, and that's the stereotype. All the fans are white. They fly Confederate flags in the races and all that. And I'm not denying that they flew. There's still NASCAR fans that fly Confederate flags at races, but NASCAR have come out and condemned that. They do not want Confederate flags flying at their races. It's very hard to patrol everyone at a NASCAR race, because you have to remember NASCAR races have most often they have more people in attendance at NASCAR races than NFL games or NBA games or NHL baseball games. There are much more people at a NASCAR race every weekend than those events, so it's very hard to patrol. Now, I'm not defending using the Confederate flag. Obviously, that's just wrong. You shouldn't be doing it. But the misunderstanding is on both sides. The national media coming at NASCAR, the sport I love, and I know NASCAR's made mistakes over the last few days. They should have gotten out ahead of this, but they decided to run away and try to be quiet, and that bit them in the ass. So, unfortunately, that's what happens. But the national media is also stereotyped NASCAR. A lot of people who don't know the sport are heavily stereotyping the sport again, something that it's gotten away from. We have a female driver in the sport. We have a black driver in the sport. He doesn't have a ride right now, but he's about to get a ride from the guy who actually said you should be fired for kneeling down. So it's not that Richard Petty or Richard Childress are racist. They're not. But that's the conception that's going on because they're telling people to sit down. They're not. There's no racism is not really existent in NASCAR anymore. It is there's not many black drivers in the sport, but that's just a racing thing. In Formula One, you have one black driver in the sport, but that's it. In many forms of racing, you do not see African American drivers. It's just how the sport was kind of grown to be, but that doesn't mean everyone's racist. I certainly am not. I'm a Muslim. I'm just chilling, enjoying my life, and that's just how it is. So that stereotype is just wrong, and people need to understand that. Now, on the other side, Richard Childress and Richard Petty, that said you'd be fired, they just don't understand the protest that's going on, and a lot of fans don't understand the protest that's going on. For many people, they think they're protesting the national anthem and that it's disrespectful to take a knee during the national anthem. But these athletes are not protesting the national anthem. They're not protesting the military members and the veterans. They're protesting the racial inequality in this country. That is what's being protested. Racial inequality does exist. You can't hide from it. It's there. So it exists, and that's what they're protesting. Now, you can debate whether it's right or wrong to do it during the national anthem, but these players and these athletes, drivers, media members, everyone, they have a platform. and they can use it. So everyone has their own opinion. But the divisiveness that's going on right now is really bad. And I hope one day that we can unite again and just love sports. But right now, the sports world and the politics world have collided. The hate and the anger and the nastiness that we've seen during the election and during this presidency has now carried into sports. And that's a big problem. So the main reason why I'm making this video is just so people can understand. I do not like it when my sport is being attacked. Do I agree with what my sport has been doing as of late? No, they don't talk about the issues. NASCAR has been very distant from the issues. They've tried to stay away from it. And when you try to stay away from something that you know is coming, it's just like if you weren't prepared for a hurricane that you know is coming, you're going to get in trouble. And that's what happened to them. And I do not agree with many of the things they've done leading up to this point. But NASCAR has released a statement, and it's the statement that I expected, saying they support patriotism, military. We do the pre-race national anthem, every race tradition, but we also respect everyone else's opinion and their right to protest. And that's a big key. NASCAR's most popular driver, Dale Earnhardt Jr., has come out and said, a quote from JFK on Twitter. So those kind of things are things I'm proud of. That's what we should have been doing 2 days ago when we saw this storm coming. And unfortunately, the President of the United States has now used our sport as a plot to further his platform and his opinion. And instead of leading and uniting the country, he is currently dividing us. And basically what has to happen is the country has to unite. Sports is a place that we all love. And now it's turned into just a bunch of hate and not respecting everyone else's opinion and disagreeing with everyone. And we're not even talking about sport anymore. And that's a problem, but that's also the issue that we have to take a stance again. No one can run away anymore. There's no more running away. It's infiltrated the entire sports world. We have a leader that is not uniting us, but he's taking a stand on what he believes is right. And you can do that. I'm not saying that's wrong. It's just, the leader of the country should be uniting the country. And right now, the people of this country have to unite the country. NASCAR is the most patriotic sport I've ever been a part of. I've played golf. I've been part of NBA, basketball stuff, baseball, where they do the 7th inning stretch. But I can honestly say NASCAR is the most patriotic sport I have ever been a part of and ever witnessed, and it's awesome. The pre-race anthem and everything is fantastic. And those kind of things, you would never change. But there's just a misconception of what's going on right now. What are these players and athletes protesting? What are the fans angry about? And everyone has a right to peacefully protest. If you try to limit the amount of protest that's going on, just like JFK said, you will create inevitable violent protest. And right now we just need to unite, and I felt like this was an important video to make. You guys can leave your comments down below, but again, just be respectful of everyone else's opinion and remind each other that we all love the same sport, and we all racial inequality exists, but it's not near to what it's been in the history of this country. It's getting better, but we still have a long way to go. And hopefully one day we'll eliminate it entirely, but there are issues in the world and you can't run away from it. So unfortunately, that's the NASCAR news for today. I love my sport, and credit to Jeff Gluck, because he's one of the best riders I've ever seen. He's awesome. I'd love to meet him one day, and hopefully when I go to Homestead, I'll be able to meet him. He's a great guy, and he loves the sport, and that's why he came out, and that's why I'm also coming out. And just, I'm not taking a stance. I just want everyone to unite. Just unite, love each other, and give everyone the same opportunity that you can get. Respect everyone's opinions, and just move on with your day and be nice to people, be kind, be passionate, love everyone, and just enjoy life. That's just how it should be. And I love my sport, and hopefully my sport can carry on. Guys, if you like the video, make sure to like button. If you're new to the channel, make sure you subscribe. Hopefully I won't have to make another one of these videos, but sometimes you just have to make them. So I'll see you guys later. Hope you're having a fantastic day. I'm gonna go watch the Arsenal game, so I'll see you guys later. Peace out.
Even if I tried, even if I wanted to, and I can't change. Even if I try, my love, my love, my love, she keeps me warm.